Hey y'all, Stoney Creek here. Today's the day we've been waiting for. The last few videos have been nothing except about the goats, and the reason why is because we've been waiting for this day. Right now, September 1st, and it's a pretty important day for us out on the farm. It's the beginning of our breeding season, so let's get it on. Come on, George. Well, we've got someone who's camera shy here. We brought him out to the doe pasture. This is old gorgeous George. It's his first time out with the does, so we're going to be pretty excited to see what he's going to do. We're going to leave a large number of our does out here. He's going to be our main herd sire this year. But there's some of the does that we've actually got here. We're going to load back up in the trailer. We're going to take them across the street. And we're going to introduce them to their boyfriends. So let's get it on. You can see the girls are calling him. He's just figured out that that's a pen full of girls right there. So we're going to go ahead and sort out these that are going to be staying here in this pasture. We're going to turn them loose. And that way the only ones we have to contend with to get on the trailer is going to be left in the barn. Okay, so that's the lineup that's going to be staying out here. Let me show you real quick. All we got left behind me are the goats that's going to be loaded up in the trailer. And we're going to take those over to the other side of the property, over to the buck complex. And we've got some breeding pens set up especially for them. Well, we got them all loaded. You can see a trailer full of goats. It's actually safer for them to travel that way, being compacted like that. Let's go get them over on the other side sorted before it gets dark. Well guys, we didn't make it back before dark, so I figured I'd come out today, show you how we got those does separated, and tell you a little bit about our bucks. So here, this is Whiskey Steel Blue. He's a New Zealand buck coming to us from Virginia. He comes from Circle W Ranch. We're pretty excited to get him. We're excited to see how he does this year. He's a November 2017 model, so still a fairly young buck, but he certainly knows what his ladies are all about. This video is not doing him any justice at all. He actually has a blue tint to him, so other than as you can see how stocky his chest is, and he won't let me get beside him to show you how long he is, but he's actually got a deep chest, and he's fairly long. So we're excited to see what he's going to bring to the herd. And then the ladies that we've got in with him, we've got 5 ladies in with him. 4 are New Zealand's. This one up front, you should remember her from an earlier video. That's Little Miss. She comes from Alabama. And that doe right there is Blueberry, and you should remember her from an earlier video too. I'll post links to both of those. This is Sig Luna. She comes to us from Texas. This doe we've had for a couple of years that's trying to hide. She actually comes from the same farm that George does. She's a Chris Manna doe. And this doe right here, she's a purebred, but we're pretty excited about her. She comes from Wayne Sims here local. Now let me show you one of our other junior bucks that we're going to be using. This is a January born buck right here. This is another New Zealand buck. This is Blue Boy. We've actually got 4 does in with him. I don't know where the other one's at right now, but we're excited to see what he's going to do here on the farm. This is our senior buck, Cheddar Bob. See if I can get a little better picture of him here. Now Cheddar Bob, we've had him for a couple of years now, and we've got a lot of his daughters. So that's why he's not out in the main pasture this year, because we're having some of his daughters. They're finally old enough to breed. So we've just given him 3 does that we know that he performs really well with this year, because we want to try out some of these junior bucks. Now, Cheddar Bob is a purebred, but we're certainly not thinking any less of him. He weighs a little over 200 pounds. And let me show you something here real quick. I don't know if you can see, but I've got electric running on the inside of this fence, and I had electric wire running on the other side of that fence. When we put those does in that are behind me right now, over in this pen, he decided his 3 weren't enough, and he went through that fence. This is actually a combination of cattle panel, electric fence, and then we've got some 2-inch welded wire fence down at the bottom. And he busted through our fence right here at the T-post. And that was even after I'd already had these T-posts put up to hold this fence that way. He just blasted right through there, through the electric. He didn't even care. So what we had to do, and it's worked out really nicely. Of course, we've got our mini mule in here. But this tape that you see in here, this white tape that goes down there, it's actually about a 10-foot span between that tape and here. We use that white electrical tape, or so the mini mule can see it. Putting up that electrical tape and then having the distance in between these 2 paddocks certainly made all the difference in the world. He certainly respects that now. It's on a 30-mile box, and we're not even near a half a mile worth of wire in here. So it's pretty hot. Old Cheddar Bob has a firm respect for that fence right now. Now, something I did want to note, in all these pins that you're seeing here that are divided and seems relatively small, and they probably are small if this was a full-time arrangement for this many goats. But this area that I'm standing in, this is what we call my buck complex. And typically they have the range of this whole complex here. I have all the gates open. Of course, we don't have that electrical fence up separating the 2 paddocks, so they can run in this whole area. Well, we're back out here in the pasture. Thought I'd show you George again with his ladies. Now this doe, I want to tell you about her real quick. She's the one that I'd pointed out a couple of videos ago that had a broke leg, and you can see she's doing 100% better. So here's George, and he's a New Zealand buck. He comes from Dindar Farms here in Oklahoma. We have a couple of their goats, and we're just super pleased with them. His brother, these other goats won't get out of my way. His twin was in the Oklahoma buck test last year and did really well, so we're expecting some amazing things from him this year. But he's got our main herd of does. And for all my Kiko friends, down in the description, I'm going to put their actual registered names of these bucks so that you can see who they are and what their lineage is. Well, hey guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this. I'll for sure keep you updated as the next 151 days progress. 151 days are significant because that's when we should start expecting to see kids on the ground. Actually, the way I figure is 151 days plus a week from when I put the bucks in, because it normally takes the does just a few days to get settled in. They're not all going to be in their heat cycle right now. But I just wanted to share with you what we've got going on as far as breeding pens right now. Well, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And like always, see you next video.